Let's talk about all of this with Grant Wahl. He is a journalist and founder of GrantWahl.com, and he was detained for half an hour yesterday before the U.S.-Wales game for just trying to enter the stadium wearing a shirt with a rainbow on it. Grant, thanks very much for being here. I'm sorry that happened to you. And I think everyone wants to know what you went through. And I wonder what you make of what, Caitlin just read from the head of FIFA saying this is just hypocrisy.
I think the FIFA head president, Gianni Infantino, actually makes a decent point when he talks about 3,000 years of Europeans doing bad things to the rest of the world. And I think even the U.S. in the last couple hundred years has a few things like that in its history. But unfortunately, the FIFA president, what he took that to mean, I thought was really outrageous, actually, that just because of that, human rights violations in authoritarian countries, like here in Qatar, the outlawing of homosexuality, the treatment of migrant workers, all of that, that it's not possible, according to the FIFA president, to criticize that, which I think is just wrong. In terms of my situation before the U.S. game, I was told by FIFA, as they said publicly, and also by U.S. Soccer, that wearing a rainbow shirt or having a rainbow flag would not be a problem at all here in Qatar. FIFA was going to make sure that that was not an issue for fans, for media, for any visitors. I showed up at the stadium last night and instantly was pushed aside by the security guards at the media entrance, and I was told explicitly, you need to take off your shirt. That's a political statement, and you cannot enter because of that. I refused to take off my shirt. I did get a tweet off, thankfully, about it. I wasn't really planning on putting out publicly that I was wearing the shirt until I was detained. They forcibly took my phone out of my hands. For 30 minutes. They made me stand in front of a CCTV camera. They continued to try to get me to take off my shirt. They stood above me as I sat and angrily yelled at me. Only after about 30 minutes did a commander come down and let me through wearing my shirt. And he apologized, as did FIFA.
Are you going to do it again?
I probably will. I've got my shirt, and I have no fear here about any of this. It's been a weird week. I mean, literally in the accreditation line when I got here, I took a photo, a very innocuous photo of the World Cup slogan on the wall. There were no signs preventing pictures, and a security guard came over and said no pictures and demanded that I delete the photo from my phone. So it's that kind of a situation here in Qatar.
And Grant, what was it like as you had been pulled aside? You're in front of this CCTV. They're harassing you over what shirt you were wearing. What were people around you? How were they responding?
A friend of mine from the New York Times came over and tried to help and got detained as well for a little bit. I was thinking the entire time, like, if I'm being treated this way during the World Cup, when the attention of the world is on Qatar, and I'm an American who has a pretty prominent media following, imagine how gay people in Qatar outside of World Cups must feel, or what they must endure. And that's a lot to think about.
Secretary of State Tony Blinken is criticizing international soccer's governing body, FIFA, now for threatening players at the World Cup with yellow cards if they dare to wear what you see there, a One Love armband supporting diversity and inclusion. I'm going to play for you what America's top diplomat, standing on Qatari soil, mind you, said alongside his counterpart this morning.
It's always concerning from my perspective when we see any restrictions on freedom of expression. It's especially so when the expression is for diversity and for inclusion. And in my judgment, at least, no one on a football pitch should be forced to choose between supporting these values and playing for their team.
And this is just one and the latest of several controversies that have been occurring in and around the World Cup in Qatar. Joining me now for more on this is ESPN commentator Patrick McEnroe and CNN sports analyst and USA Today columnist Christine Brennan. It's great to get the gang back together, you guys, on really important stuff to talk about, and we'll get to the sports in just a second. Christine, you hear Blinken's remarks there. Teams now not wearing One Love armbands because FIFA threatened them, and you have Grant Wahl a well-known sports writer telling CNN Today he was detained and blocked from entering a stadium just for wearing a rainbow T-shirt. I want to play for you how he describes what happened.
Instantly, I was pushed aside by the security guards at the media entrance, and I was told explicitly, you need to take off your shirt. That's a political statement, and you cannot enter because of that. I refused to take off my shirt. They stood above me as I sat and angrily yelled at me. Only after about 30 minutes did a commander come down and let me through wearing my shirt, and he apologized, as did FIFA.
Christine, what do you think of all of this? I mean, that level of attempted control at a sports event seems small.
It's terrible, Patrick and Kate. Great to be with you both. But it's totally predictable. FIFA, there's no one that deserves this kind of controversy and fiasco more than FIFA for giving the World Cup to Qatar back in 2010. We could have telegraphed all of this even then. And in fact, the steady drumbeat of controversies and stories, the human rights violations of the migrant workers, the concern obviously now apparent that we should have been concerned over LGBTQ rights and how Qatar and FIFA would handle that. This is a catastrophe, frankly, a PR catastrophe of their own making. They deserve this. And instead of talking soccer and sports, we're talking about this, as we should be. The controversy about the armbands, what they were saying, what FIFA was saying, as many now know, is that if you wear the armband, that would be on the captain, immediately that he would get a yellow card. And if you get two of those, you're out of that match and the next match, and your team plays one person down. I so wish that the European countries had told FIFA to go jump in the lake, because there's no way that FIFA could have been they could have gone ahead with it, but it would have tainted their entire tournament at the very beginning. Again, this was totally predictable and it's totally deserved.